September 7th, 2014 from Sports Authority Field. September 7th, 2014 from Sports Authority Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. It was the Sunday night football game of the week with the Indianapolis Colts visiting the Denver Broncos live on NBC on Sunday Night Football. And on the very first play of this game with the nation watching, Andrew Luck hooked up with Reggie Wayne for a 22-yard pass, but the Colts drive stalled and they would be forced to punt. Peyton took over and the Broncos were off to the races. The first drive would only net a 21-yard field goal from McManus, but Peyton would go on to throw 3 touchdown passes in the first half, all of which saw Julius Thomas on the receiving end. The first touchdown pass came after Luck was picked off by Hakeem Nicks as Manning led the Broncos 54 yards, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown pass to Thomas. The second touchdown pass was a 35-yard touchdown to Thomas, and the third was a 5-yard touchdown pass to Thomas, at which point the score was 24-0 with less than 2 minutes left before halftime, as the Broncos had quickly run out to a huge lead. Undaunted, Andrew Luck drove the Colts 80 yards, and on 1st and goal from the 9, Luck scrambled into the end zone for the touchdown to make it 24-7. Luck is only second to Cam Newton in quarterback rushing touchdowns since 2012. Peyton took a knee, and it was halftime. The Broncos punted on their first possession of the second half, and the Colts drove all the way down to the Denver 1-yard line, but on 4th and goal, Luck was stopped short by Brandon Marshall as the Broncos defense came up with a huge goal line stand. Denver would punt the ball back to Indy, and Vinatieri would kick a 25-yarder to make it 24-10 with 1.5 minutes left in the third. Denver would then punt on their next possession, and Whalen ran the ball back 92 yards for the touchdown. But wait a minute, his knee had touched the ground twice during the return, but he kept running anyway. The play was called back. The Colts punted, and 3.5 minutes later, Montee was in the end zone off a 3-yard touchdown run that made the score 31-10 Denver. Andrew Luck responded with a quick 2-minute drive, capped off by a 41-yard strike to Allen for a touchdown to make it 31-17 with just under 8 minutes left in the game. The Colts went for an onside kick and recovered. Luck drove the Colts down to the Denver 31, but on 2nd and 10 he dropped back the pass, and Hakeem Nicks came up with his second pick of the game. The Broncos then went 3 and out, and the Colts now had the ball with a little over 4 minutes on the clock. Luck would find Hakeem Nicks for a 9-yard touchdown to make it a 7-point game at 31-24 with 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Once again, the Broncos went 3 and out, and the Colts now had a chance to send this game into overtime. Luck marched the Colts across midfield, but on 4th and 6 from the Denver 39, an incomplete pass would give the Broncos the ball back, and Peyton Manning would take 3 knees as this game came to a close with the final score 31-24. So the Broncos came out in the first half with 24 unanswered points, and then the Colts came back to make the game interesting. Of course, the touchdown by Montee is really what put the game out of reach. But still, in the end, the Colts were just 1 score away from sending it to overtime. But the Broncos defense, they bend, but they don't break. And in this game, Andrew Luck was 35 for 53 with 370 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Peyton Manning was 22 for 36 with 269 yards and 3 touchdowns, all of which came in the first half. So they got out to that big lead, and then they started running the ball. The leading rusher in the game was Montee. He had 67 yards off 23 carries for an only 2.9 average, but he did find the end zone as he had that 1 rushing touchdown. And the leading receiver in the game was Julius Thomas with 104 yards off 7 receptions and 3 touchdowns, all of which came in the first half. Reggie Wayne was 2 yards shy of the century mark with 98 yards off 9 receptions. So quite the game, and the real big difference was the 2 interceptions by Hakeem Nicks, as he came up huge in this game for Denver. He also had 3 tackles. Brandon Marshall was the game's leading tackler with 10 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. So the Broncos win this one from a nationwide audience in a game that started out as a blowout but got exciting as it went on, as the Colts somehow managed to make it interesting. And the Broncos win 31-24.